What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens episode review. Today, guys, we are going to be going over episode 26, the final episode of the Maximum arc. I literally just watched this like 2 hours ago or so, and I'm still in shock from this episode. I'm gonna be completely honest, and I can't not wait to hear you guys' thoughts down below. I feel like this is going to be a very well positive response from it. So, without further ado, let's not waste any time and talk about the last episode of the Maximum arc, episode 26. So my thoughts. I thought this was a great episode to end this arc off. I thought it did really good. I really did enjoy this episode. And I will say though, I did like some stuff that they did with this. The first thing I want to talk about before we actually talk about the episode itself was that the opening did not play at all during this, which was a shock to me at first, but I am really glad that they did this. Normally when you are in a big event, kind of ending an arc or ending a season more so, because I will say that this made it seem like they were ending this season, which was really surprising. We're only 26 episodes in, and that's the end of the season, which I will say that's kind of shocking. Maybe it's just because I'm used to the last couple of shows being like 40 episodes an arc. This is about half of that. So that was just really shocking to me that this might be the end of the season, or at least that's what they've been playing it as. So that is something I was not expecting at all. But they didn't play the opening, which gives them more time to be able to animate stuff and show more of the duel, which I am really glad about. Also, finally, this was the first duel that was more than 5 turns. Holy crap, I've been waiting so long for this series to actually do longer duels. This whole episode was just dueling. Like, yeah, they had some like moments in there where they were talking about other stuff, but this was mainly focused on the dueling. And I really am so glad that they did that, because I was really worried that this was just going to be a thing with rush duels, and I didn't really like the fact that these duels were so short. The fact these only lasted around 4 turns. You might be lucky enough to get like a 5 turn duel, but and that's depends on the circumstance. But there was just like not that many turns to really do anything. I mean, I felt like they could just fit every duel in one episode. I mean, they've been doing half of the episodes in just one duel. Like, one duel is half an episode, which, even though it's cool, it's good to have shorter duels. I mean, with Vrains, we had way longer like duels. I mean, it lasted 2 episodes and they only had like 8 turns in it. But honestly, I just like the more longer duels because you get to see more of the deck, and that is what this episode showed. They showed more of Yuga and Neil's deck. And let's actually talk about the duel. The end of the duel, or the duel itself, excuse me. I don't want to skip ahead that far. This duel, I love the duel. I thought this duel was great. We were just continuing off. It was I believe it was turn 3 of Yuga's. He activates one, I think Magnum Overroad's right effect, I believe was the one he activated, where he can gain 200 attack points per level of the monster on Neil's field. And as stated before, the middle piece is the one how you determine the level. So it was a level 10 monster. So Magnum Overroad gains 2,000 attack points, goes for attack. Neil activates a trap. I actually did write these ones down because I thought these cards were cool. He activated his set card, Absurd Discharge, preventing the destruction of his monster from battle, and actually inflicting the damage he took to Yuga as well. So it brought them both down to 2,500 life points. Tries to destroy Overroad, but ends up not working because it has the same effect as YGG Drago. And he ends his turn. Or no, it goes to yeah, no, it ends his turn, excuse me. He goes to his turn, he sets 2 cards, he activates a spell card. I think it was called like I think it was like Paired Production or something like that. I think was the card that he actually activated to help YGG Drago gain more attack points. He goes for his attack kind of saying like his monster was like the better one to show like the capabilities of his maximum monsters. But Yuga is able to stop the attack. I think he activates a trap to return. He activates a trap to return the monsters to his hand. Emergency return to return his maximum cards to his hands. And that was basically the end of the turn. Yuga goes, he goes for the maximum summon, and then this is where the duel gets pretty insane, I will say. He activates Paradigm Shift, which I really love the name of that card, by the way, where it can return Yuga's entire hand to his deck, and then he has to draw the same number of cards from his deck to his hand. So he lost all of his maximum monsters because he returned in the hand. In fact, Neil was smart because he had a feeling that Yuga would do that, because I think he starts to understand how the maximum summon works, and that if one of the pieces gets destroyed, the whole monster's destroyed. So protecting all the piece is the best thing you can do. And now that he has it all gone, but he still holds on. He's able to get out Seven's Road Magician and Seven's Road, or he got Seven's Road Witch and Seven's Road Magician out on the field. He uses Seven's Road's effect to actually gain attack points. It doesn't have enough, but he activates a spell card by sending an earth monster to your graveyard. He was able to activate a spell card, which I don't think I actually wrote that spell card down. That was my bad. I did not write that card down. That was completely my bad. But it basically was able to lower YGG Draco's attack points to 1500. I think it was able to lower it. No, it lowered its attack points by full meteor impacts attack points in the graveyard, which it's cool if we saw that card again. I don't think we've seen that card since that Khan duel, so that was pretty interesting. But he goes for the attack. He gets him down to 1,000 attack points, but Neil activated the Absurd Charge Hole trap card, which is able to negate his monster's destruction. He still took the damage, but he was able to gain life points equal to double the damage that he took. He took 1,500 points of damage during that attack, brought him down to 1,000 life points, and he was able to get back to 4,000 life points in just one turn. That is how insane this man went. He went back to 4,000 life points, which was a real shock to me. We go back to Neil's turn. He sets 3 cards face down because he already uses his cards, and then he uses YGG Drago's left effect to destroy Seven's Road Magician again. Goes to attack Seven's Road Witch. Yuga activates Magical Switch, which is able to switch the monsters on his field. He had Seven's Road Witch on the field, and he had Magician in the graveyard. He was able to switch it. Seven's Road Magician takes the attack, and Yuga would have lost if he kept it, because Witch only had 2,000 attack points, and since Magician had 21, he was able to survive with 100 life points. Pretty common for the Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist, if I'm going to be completely honest. This is kind of where you know that the duel is over. Yuga draws, I think he draws 4 cards, I think is what he draws. But he summons out some more monsters out on the field, and this is where he just goes insane, because he starts going through drawing, because he keeps activating different effects to draw, because the only way he knows how to win was to keep drawing cards to get the maximum pieces. He was able to get one the first time he started drawing, but then he was starting to activate its effect. We actually did get to see a new monster. I think it was called Neckmaid Nana, I think is what the name was. I actually didn't write that one down either, but I think that was the name of that monster. He tried to activate her effect to draw 2 cards, but Neil activates the good old classic trap hole and drops it down the pin. He's like, I love the line he says, is like, you gotta watch where you're going or else you might fall in a hole, or it was something like that. And then Yuga says, even if I fall down in a hole, I'll still get back up and follow my road, which, really good line by Yuga. But he still activates cards, and Yuga keeps on drawing and actually gets the 3 cards in his hand in anime style drawing. I mean, the last piece he did that classic anime draw, and he was able to get the middle piece. But, and I will say this though, I flew off my seat when I saw this, because I didn't realize it, because he activated the trap before, or no, it was an effect of a monster where you could check your opponent's field, and if he had a trap card on the field, then Yugo's able to draw one card, and that's how you draw the middle piece. We saw one of the cards. I think it was Annihilation, Pair Annihilation, or something like that. I think that was the card, yeah. But he is able to flip that one over to draw the card, but he had another trap on the field, and guess what it was? It was Paradigm Shift, or yeah, Paradigm Shift, excuse me. He activates the same spell or the trap card that he activated a couple turns earlier. I flew out of my chair. It's like, are you kidding me? This boy just played the same dang trap. So Yuga has to send his cards back to the graveyard, or not to the graveyard, back to his deck and draw again. Though, got one of the pieces though, so that was pretty cool. But I will say to you, this is anime protagonist draw stuff on crack because Yuga in just one turn, literally in one turn, he activates Kree Pot Triple, which is able to send three Kree Pots back to your deck to draw two cards. And yes, I really memorized this duel. I got so invested in this duel that I made sure I wrote down every single thing that I needed to know about this duel. That's how you know that I really enjoy a duel this much. But he sends the Kree Pots back to his deck, draws two cards, and he's able to draw the left and right arms again. Are you kidding me? That is again, that's classic anime drawing power on crack, basically, because he was able to get it the first time, has to send it back, and then gets it in again. Like, really? But you know what? I'm not surprised. Yuga had to win this duel anyways. He maximum summons Magnum Overload. He goes to activate the first effect again, but Neo reminds him that he did see his trap card Annihilation, which would actually end the duel in a draw, because both of them would lose life points at the same time, and that would basically end the duel there. But Yuga mentions that he still has one effect left from the left one's effect. I think it was. I have not memorized which side is which. It's still kind of confusing to me. So if it's the right one or left one, don't get mad at me. I don't really remember that much. I mean, there's three effects on these, and they're on different cards. I'm trying to do my best, guys. I'm not perfect. I can't get everything right. But he activates the last effect. In fact, the opening starts to play, and that's another sign that it feels like this is the end of the season because of the way they did that. I was not expecting the opening to play like that, but the opening starts to play. Well, and also, I didn't mention it, when they did the summoning chant, everyone had came together beforehand. Yuga got everyone basically in the Goha Elementary School. I think like 77.7%. Yo, there was a 7 reference. Oh my god, how did I miss that? I just remembered that because Neil said if you win this duel, 77.7% of the Goha Elementary kids would lose their accounts. They just made a 7-7 reference, and I almost missed it. Oh my god. I can't believe I almost missed that. That's actually really funny. That is actually really funny. I about missed that. But he was able to get all these kids to get involved. We even got to see Riku and I can't remember the other kid's name to get involved. And literally the drones were just going to say, since you're part of Team Yuga, you get a penalty, you get penalties, which was pretty insane though. But he was able to do summon chat with every character that was main in the series so far, as he summons his Magnum Road or Magnum Overload, and then he activates the left effect where his monster gains attack points equal to the difference in life points, which was 39 at the time. So it gained 94 attack points, I believe, and since that was way too much, Neil cannot activate his trap. Yuga attacks, and that is the end of the duel. Yuga does win the duel. And then I will say though, as much as I liked the episode, did not like what they did with the end result of it though. More so what they did to Neil. Yuga and him confront Neil. The drones come by and says that someone got 6 penalties, their accounts are being terminated. And Yuga looks at his duelist, it's like, huh? But I still have 5 penalties, what's going on? However, and I asked this question when I watched this, and someone was like, because I remember seeing it, as I was so confused, like, how in the world did he get 6 penalties? Because he didn't, did he just, like, go to Yuga's team or something like that, and it only counted him as getting the penalty or something like that? I don't know what the case, Apparently, before the duel starts, Neil decided that it wouldn't mean anything if the stakes weren't high, so he gave himself 5 penalties going into this duel, and he got his sixth. So that means that his account is terminated. I was really surprised that they went down that route. I am going to be completely honest with you guys, and I am pretty upset about that. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys about that. I did not want them to go down that route. Honestly, I don't think this is the worst thing they could have done. The worst thing they could have done is just got him redeemed really quickly and really fast, and he just becomes a part of Yuga's team, kind of like how Roa is, and he kind of supports the team. I would have absolutely despised that if they did that because I feel like that's not his character at all, and I'm glad they didn't went this character. But I think this just confirmed that Neil is not going to be in the series anymore after this episode. I feel like he's just gonna be gone from the series now, which I don't like that at all. This character brought the intensity to the show that, honest to God, it really needed. Because I'm not saying it needs to be serious all the time like Vrains was, but I felt like there needed to be some intense moments. I keep remembering that Geta and Roa duel, and they were joking around during that duel, and I did not like that. Sure, there were some emotional moments to it, but they joked around to it. Neil didn't joke around at all. Like, he smiled a couple of times, but he was more in an intense way of smiling, and I love that about his character. And after this, there's no way he can come back unless they cop out and say like he's able to get his account back. But I think they've just confirmed it now that Neil's not going to be important for the rest of the series anymore. He's done. He's done his parts. He says something to Yuga about making sure to keep growing rush duels. Like oh no, he's like, you have potential to make rush duels an excess, a success. Excuse me. And success. Jeez, I said success. Dude, I am I'm still in shock from this episode. I don't even know how to speak words anymore. But I will say that that was the disappointment of this episode. But I shouldn't have expected this. I'm going to be completely honest. I think that was just the route they were planning to take. So even though I'm a little bit upset about it, that's just what ends up happening. And then we actually get to see the main antagonist at the end of the arc, Asa. We don't get to see her. They did it kind of fashion like episode 13 where they don't show us the character. It's just this black faded out character with 2 other minions. So there's probably going to be a secondary antagonist and a third antagonist as well in this. So really excited. I really do hope that these villains, though, really do bring the intensity that Neil did. Because with Neil out of the series, they need someone to fill his role. And I'm really hoping that they do. And I'll talk about this a little bit more when I do my end of arc series. And for people that are new and don't know what I'm talking about, at the end of every arc, I'm going to be doing a series where I recap the arc and kind of give my thoughts on it, talk about each individual character, talk about the duels, talk about the episodes, and then give it a rating after all overall. So make sure to stay tuned for that. I don't know when that's going to come out, but I'll try my best to get it out as soon as possible. But guys, that was it for the episode. Even though I was really impressed, that shock with Neil at the end, I honestly to God didn't think he was going to do that. I thought he would just have 1 penalty, but yeah, that's just the way they went, and that's just the way we're going to accept it. But guys, that is going to be it for this episode review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on this episode was down below. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that did like this episode, so I can't wait to see the positive comments, because I know a lot of you guys from the comments I've been seeing that you guys have been absolutely loving Sevens so far. So that's honestly really good that so much people are enjoying Sevens, especially from all the crap that I was getting in the beginning about potentially being the worst Yu-Gi-Oh series. So I'm kind of glad to see that Sevens has been doing good so far for the other people. But can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts on this down below. And I definitely want to know what you guys think of the whole thing with Neil. That's one thing that I really want to see other people's thoughts on. Because even though I was disappointed, maybe people like the fact that they're doing that. Maybe they don't like that at all. Or maybe they're fine with it. Again, I'll be fine with it as long as these other characters can bring it. If not, I'm definitely going to be disappointed. But that's just me, though. It's just my taste. I just feel like a character needs to be intense to make me more invested. Because a character that's intense makes you want to get in the show more. You want to see what happens next. And I feel like Neil perfectly brought that into the series. So hopefully the next antagonist group brings that into the series. It is the end of the maximum arc, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about the entire arc down below and during the end of arc video that hopefully will come out soon. I don't know when. Again, I don't know when that's going to come out, but we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, guys, take care.